The pond area glistens in the late summer sun, a tranquil stage set for an explosion of color and life. As I walked across the garden, I found myself drawn to a spot that made me pause. The chalkers we planted this spring have transformed into a glorious display of blooms, their fragrance carried on a soft breeze. Honeybees hummed tirelessly among the petals, their gentle work adding a subtle soundtrack to the visual symphony. The drift of Ecgonia, dug from the cut flower garden, now stands reshaped and restrained, promising fullness in the coming years. Amid the planted beauty, small clusters of celosia have sneaked in, popping their delicate flowers while some were carefully pulled out to maintain balance. A Toulson's weeping juniper adds a sculptural elegance, hinting at the architectural dimension plants can offer in a landscape. The firefly fuchsia yarrow sends up new blooms, a quiet reminder that life in the garden is always renewing, always moving forward. Looking across the pond, the juxtaposition of colors and textures creates a layered richness that is almost overwhelming. Royal raspberry agastaki blends with purple Russian sage, creating a visual harmony that speaks of careful planning and serendipity alike. The Aromance pink numisia continues to bloom with a gentle resilience, its scent a soothing undertone amid the busyness of midsummer. Tiny seedlings of Veronica and agastaki planted earlier this year have grown steadily, their small stature belying the impact they will soon have. The pond itself hosts an array of life, from bright orange baby koi to tilapia and countless mosquitofish, darting through the water like living jewels. Each ripple catches the light differently, drawing the eye to moments of unexpected wonder, like the sudden frenzy of fish chasing treats, reminding us of the wild, playful pulse that exists even in a cultivated space. The garden's structure and flow create natural points of attention. Plumbago sprawls as a low, flowering ground cover, shifting from midsummer blue to fiery autumn red, while Rudbeckia peeks through in modest bursts of gold. Our original pond plantings have matured impressively, a testament to time and patience. Interactions with wildlife add layers of unpredictability, as pets like Goldie engage with fish and plants in surprising ways. These moments, though fleeting, inject a narrative of life and connection into the landscape, transforming the garden from a static tableau to a living story. The challenges of shade, sunlight, and water are constant companions in this space, requiring experimentation, adjustments, and a willingness to let some plants assert themselves while others are guided gently to thrive. In the shadier corners of the garden, plants like dressed-up ball-gown hookahs and chartreuse varieties of hosta demand attention not by grandiosity but by subtler contrasts. The soft layering of leaves, the quiet emergence of buds, all hint at an unfolding story that rewards patience. Meanwhile, the Kodiak jet black variety, with its dark foliage punctuated by pale yellow blooms, brings an unexpected intensity to the landscape, offering contrast that makes every other color pop. Large plants like black lace elderberries, with their capacity to grow 15 to 20 feet, become living sculptures, their flowers and subsequent berries creating seasonal narratives that shift from spring to fall. Incorporating hydrangeas such as the Pinky Winky and Limelight Prime adds another dimension, blending height, texture, and color in ways that anchor the eye and create depth across the garden canvas. Planting is not just about placement, it's about storytelling. Each selection, sedums like midnight velvet with smoky pink blooms, hearty geraniums that carpet the soil, ecgonias tucked into little pockets of shade, contributes to an ongoing conversation between the gardener and the land. The act of pruning, cutting back, and grooming offers the gardener a parallel journey of renewal and expression. Transforming an overgrown or struggling plant is akin to watching a small drama unfold. Leaves trimmed, branches encouraged, new growth pushed forward, all as a reminder that careful attention can turn chaos into beauty. Every decision about color, height, and texture ripples outward, shaping not just the immediate space but the experience of walking through it. As the day progresses, the garden reveals even more of its personality. The interplay of sunlight and shade, the placement of annuals like Superunia and White Knight Lobularia, and the subtle introductions of perennial structure with black lace elderberry or hydrangeas, create focal points that draw viewers along a natural path. The promise of future growth, how a pinky winky will one day tower and frame a pathway, how a midnight velvet sedum will expand to form a colorful mass, is the tension that keeps curiosity alive. Even minor setbacks, like a lost branch on a redbud after a windstorm, are woven into the narrative, showing the fragility and resilience inherent in every living system. Paths through the garden guide the eye and the foot, but also create narrative threads. Grass pathways, gator-wide tracks, and small walkways between dense plantings provide moments of pause, perspective, and anticipation. They allow glimpses of what has been planted, what is emerging, and what will dominate in the coming seasons. A garden, after all, is experienced in layers: the immediate sensory delight of fragrance and color, the mid-range appreciation of form and contrast, and the long-term anticipation of growth, flowering, and maturation. Each turn brings a potential revelation, an unexpected bloom, a bird perched on a branch, a flash of orange koi in the pond. Integration of shade-tolerant plants, careful watering, and attention to microclimates are key in this evolving story. Areas with dappled sun require resilient companions. Ferns, hardy geraniums, and brunnera thrive where others would falter. The gardener becomes both observer and participant, learning from successes and failures alike. Containers that once held tender plants like ball gown hookahs or hydrangeas are gradually transitioned into the landscape, transforming temporary displays into permanent features that reinforce cohesion, balance, and vibrancy. The act of planting becomes almost ritualistic: digging, positioning, adjusting, watering, and stepping back to admire, always attuned to scale, proportion, and harmony. Through every corner of the garden, the dialogue between color, texture, and form unfolds. From tall hydrangeas that will eventually frame the pond, to dark-leafed elderberries that provide dramatic contrast, to low-lying annuals that dot the soil like painterly touches, each component is part of a living mosaic. Layering of height, from ground covers to mid-sized perennials to towering shrubs, creates a sense of discovery. Turn a corner, and a previously hidden cluster of blooms reveals itself. Shift perspective, and a seemingly simple planting arrangement takes on a new depth. This constant interplay keeps attention anchored, inviting the observer to remain fully present, moment by moment, in the unfolding story. The impact of thoughtful design extends beyond the visual. Strategic placement of fragrant blooms, such as chalkers and aroman's pink numisia, engages the olfactory senses, enhancing the immersive experience. Even the playful chaos of fish in the pond, chasing treats or darting around lily pads, adds kinetic energy, grounding the garden in life rather than static beauty. Seasonal anticipation, too, plays a role. The promise of peach-colored blooms, the shift of plumbago leaves from blue to red, or the ripening of elderberry clusters ensures that the viewer is always aware that the story is ongoing, dynamic, and ever-changing. There's a subtle tension between the immediate gratification of seeing something beautiful today and the patience required to witness its full glory in future months and years. By the time the planting of pinky winkies and black lace elderberries concludes, the garden is transformed not only in appearance but in energy. Bright pops of color punctuate shady corners, tall shrubs anchor vistas, and every plant has its place in the rhythm of light, shade, and movement. Paths are laid out in anticipation of future walks, the interplay of textures and hues promises seasonal drama, and the entire space radiates a sense of cultivated yet untamed vitality. Each decision, from pruning to planting to pairing, reinforces a narrative of intention and care, drawing viewers into a story they can follow, return to, and anticipate as it unfolds over weeks, months, and years. This garden is a living testament to patience, creativity, and the joy of connection between human hands and natural life. It embodies the excitement of discovery, the thrill of color, the serenity of water, and the satisfaction of watching tiny seedlings mature into impactful features. Every choice resonates, every placement matters, and every bloom is a character in an ongoing drama of growth, resilience, and beauty. The energy of this space, palpable through fragrance, color, movement, and interaction, captures attention in ways that few experiences can. It's a garden that tells a story not just in words, but in moments, each flower, each leaf, each ripple of water contributing to a narrative that is both visual and emotional, immediate and anticipatory.